Meet Chao Li Feng and Do Po Feng, rice farmers in rural Shaodong, one of China's most agriculturally based provinces. Ever since the Moon Festival, letters have started appearing in their rice fields. Let's take a closer look.
我收了1000个这些信，他们都说一样的东西，他们都说要是我用叫什么 synthetic fertilizer， 我会赚好些钱。他们也说要是我用这些那些 synthetic fertilizer 不会伤害这些空气和树。我真的要赚好些钱，因为我要去美国。可是我不知道谁给我这些信吗？我又不知道我能信这些信说了什么。
Though I cannot tell you who's sending you these letters, I can tell you whether or not to use synthetic fertilizers. I brought with me an expert from America.
Hello, Mr. Yan. I see you want to use synthetic fertilizers. Do you know what they do?
No.
Very well. We have to teach you. First, you must understand the nitrogen cycle.
Nitrogen is an important building block of amino acids, proteins, and nucleic acids. The atmosphere is about 78% nitrogen by volume, but plants cannot incorporate nitrogen gas into organic compounds. Plants rely on various types of bacteria and physical properties to make biologically available nitrogen through the nitrogen cycle. This process is called nitrogen fixation, and it converts nitrogen gas to a form usable by plants. Some nitrogen-fixing bacteria live in nodules on the roots of legumes, such as peas, beans, and peanuts. They're able to make nitrogen-containing organic compounds using an enzyme known as nitrogenase. Other nitrogen-fixing bacteria also live in water and soil. These bacteria convert nitrogen gas to ammonium. Nitrification is the production of nitrates. Cosmic radiation, meteor trails, and lightning provide enough energy for atmospheric nitrogen to react with oxygen and form nitrate. Also, ammonium in the soil is converted to nitrate by chemoautotrophic bacteria in a two-step process. First, nitrite-producing bacteria convert ammonium to nitrite. Then, nitrate-producing bacteria convert nitrite to nitrate. Finally, plants can use these nitrogen-containing compounds to make amino acids, proteins, and nucleic acids. The nitrogen in these plants works its way up the food chain to herbivores, carnivores, and omnivores. Now that nitrogen gas has been converted to organic compounds, denitrification reverses this process so the nitrogen cycle can continue. Denitrification requires denitrifying bacteria living in oxygen-deficient mud of lakes, bogs, and estuaries. These bacteria metabolize nitrogen oxides and convert them to atmospheric nitrogen using an enzyme called nitrate reductase.
Humans have learned how to synthetically fix large amounts of nitrogen and produce the synthetic fertilizers we have today.
Does that mean synthetic fertilizers are better to use? Do you have anything else for me?
Let's see.
Fertilizers are used in all farming methods. They use natural synthetic materials including manure and nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium compounds, which are worked into the soil to increase its capacity to support plant growth. Synthetic fertilizers are made through chemical processes by humans. The basis of all synthetic nitrogen fertilizers is anhydrous ammonia, which is obtained through the Haber-Bosch process. This process combines nitrogen from the air with hydrogen at high temperatures and pressures to make anhydrous ammonia. Synthetic fertilizers are widely used in farming and have many benefits associated with them. To begin, synthetic fertilizers contain an exact measurement of the amount of certain nutrients, allowing farmers to precisely meet the nutrient requirements for each specific crop. Synthetic fertilizers also have a higher concentration of nutrients that help promote beneficial growth and the function of crops. Synthetic fertilizers do not need to decompose to release their nutrients, so they benefit the plant very quickly. They easily address nutrient deficiencies in soil and can cure diseased or infected crops. Synthetic fertilizers help save farmers the time and money and effort compared to other means of fertilization. There are also many negative aspects of synthetic fertilizers. Low-grade synthetic fertilizers usually contain impurities such as fluorides, cadmium, and uranium. These impurities are harmful to plants. However, higher-grade fertilizers can be bought purified, but this makes the cost very high. Furthermore, farmland becomes dependent on synthetic fertilizers because of the removal of essential minerals in the soil. Over-fertilization can be extremely harmful and can lead to the death of crops. Also, high levels of fertilizers harm the symbiotic relationship between plant roots and mycorrhizal fungi, which aids in the effective development and function of the plant. Nitrogen fertilizer can be converted to nitrous oxide by soil bacteria, and it's a greenhouse gas which contributes to climate change. This nitrous oxide also causes acid rain. Synthetic fertilizers are made using non-renewable resources, such as potassium and phosphorus, which are mined. The Haber-Bosch process uses fossil fuels to produce anhydrous ammonia. Some nitrogen from the fertilizer runs off into waterways, which creates massive algae blooms. These blooms remove a high level of oxygen from the water, and this kills off a high percentage of aquatic life in the contaminated area. The nutrients, especially nitrates and fertilizers, can cause problems for the natural habitats and for human health if they are washed off into waterways or leached through soil into groundwater. Nitrates from fertilizers provide many serious health effects to humans, including some potentially fatal conditions. Nitrates in soil and water have been shown to cause tumors in animals and are linked to many health problems. Some natural fertilizer alternatives to synthetic fertilizers include manure, slurry, worm castings, peat, seaweed, humic acid, guano, blood meal, bone meal, and compost. Organic fertilizers provide an effective alternative to synthetic fertilizers by providing none of the cons associated with synthetic fertilizers. Natural fertilizers help improve the quality of the soil and release their nutrients at a slow and consistent rate. However, natural fertilizers contain a diluted source of nutrients compared to synthetic fertilizers. They also may contain pathogens that are harmful to plants and humans, and they require increased labor costs. Organic farming uses only organic fertilizers. Cover crops such as oats and rye are used to pull atmospheric nitrogen into the soil. Crop rotations are used to let essential nutrients return to the soil, and it also lets soil recover from crops that take nutrients out of the soil. There are quite a few benefits to organic farming. New nutrient-rich soil is constantly produced. The soil provides more structure, which prevents erosion. Microorganisms, which aid the growth of plants, grow better in healthy soil. More natural nutrients are available, which helps the growth of plants and helps protect them from drought and disease. Organic soil helps remove carbon dioxide from the atmosphere, which reduces greenhouse gases. Lastly, conventional farming methods utilize both organic and synthetic fertilizers.
The letters didn't mention anything about synthetic fertilizers and their contribution to global warming. I don't even know what global warming is.
Well, then let's have a look.
Global warming is a gradual increase in the overall temperature of the Earth's atmosphere caused by the accumulation of greenhouse gases. Greenhouse gases include carbon dioxide, methane, nitrous oxide, and fluorinated gases. Carbon dioxide is released through the burning of fossil fuels. It contributes to about 84% of all greenhouse gas emissions. Methane is emitted through the production and transportation of coal, natural gases, and oil. It's also emitted by livestock and the decay of organic materials in landfills. Methane contributes to about 9% of all emissions. Nitrous oxide contributes to about 5% of emissions and is emitted through agricultural processes. Lastly, fluorinated gases are released by industrial processes. They contribute to about 2% of emissions. They have no natural sources, so they're all man-made. Although these gases may be uncommon, they're very potent. Why are they potent? Well, they create the greenhouse effect. What causes this? The accumulation of greenhouse gases in the atmosphere causes the greenhouse effect. What's the actual effect? Well, an increase in the Earth's average atmosphere temperature is the result. How does this happen? Solar radiation can pass through these gases and into the atmosphere, but the gases reflect the radiation back down at the Earth when they try to escape. This might seem like no big deal, but global warming is significant. The impacts of global warming include, but are not limited to, the melting of the polar ice caps and glaciers. This can cause a rise in ocean levels, which can then lead to flooding. Also, these cold environments serve as homes to a variety of organisms. This leads me to the next point, climate changes. Earth's ecosystems are very complex. Small disturbance can have a significant effect. Also, although harmful gases are accumulating in the atmosphere, beneficial gases like ozone, O3, are thinning and being depleted. For example, ozone protects us from harmful radiation that can cause cancer. Thermal inversion, what's this? Thermal inversion helps explain the accumulation of greenhouse gases. Thermal inversion occurs when a layer of warm air lying underneath a layer of cool air traps a layer of cool air near the Earth's surface. Refer to the diagram. Normally, warm air near the Earth's surface rises and carries pollutants away with it. During thermal inversion, pollutants are trapped and accumulate in the layer of trapped cool air. Smog is often the product of thermal inversion. Smog is a visible cloud of the pollutants trapped in the layer of cold air and is commonly found lying upon large cities. But wait, what does this all have to do with synthetic fertilizers? Well, synthetic fertilizers emit nitrous oxides when used. Nitrous oxides, as you may remember, account for only 5% of all greenhouse gas emissions. However, a pound of nitrous oxide is over 300 times as potent as a pound of carbon dioxide. Oh, by the way, nitrous oxide is also known as laughing gas.
After finding out all that information, do you plan on using synthetic fertilizers in the future?
No, I do not. I want to protect the environment, so I'm going to stick with organic fertilizers.
How about you, my friend?
听不懂英文，你要买一桶什么？
No, I'm good. No rice. No.